Hi everyone, hi, and thanks for joining today. My name is Louise, I'm the marketing manager at Lesson and Learn Research. Today I will be walking you through some key platforms that we feel are being overlooked by marketers and insight managers. And we here at Lesson and Learn, we want to change that and show you the immense potential of Quora, Twitch and Pinterest. But before we jump in, I'd like to tell you a bit more about us and what we do. So we're a market research company that specializes in helping businesses navigate uncertainty by harnessing the power of social media insight. So that means that we go big on the data, we go deep on the detail to make sure the customers' voices are heard. So this is a very sort of human first approach, meaning real people, not computers, to give businesses more comprehensive and true to life insights. That way, social insight can help businesses achieve a number of strategic, creative, and innovative outcomes. So we've been using a series of platforms to help businesses achieve exactly these goals. And during these projects, we realized how much power there is in them that isn't being taken advantage of by most brands. So the front runners and those willing to try new platform sources, they really stand to gain handsomely. And I'd like to tell you a bit more exactly how they can gain in this session. So let's jump in and have a look at Quora, Twitch and Pinterest. So without further ado, we start with Quora. So the first platform I said that we'll explore is Quora. It's a social media platform that allows its users to ask questions on almost any topic. You should consider using Quora for business insight, for its ability to help you understand what questions and concerns really that your audience may have and how you can help them. So it's a way of sort of anticipating really what your customer's thinking about, what they're worried about, what they're asking about, and anticipating that and incorporating that in your service or product development. So what are some of the best business strategies in history? Is marketing a good career choice? When should companies change up their branding? Every day, thousands of Quora users ask questions like these. And as I mentioned before, answering them is a great way to increase brand awareness. But Quora is also an underappreciated market research tool. So by simply scrolling through Quora questions, it can really show you what your audience is searching for. It can provide you with blog inspiration, while at the same time analysing Quora's answers, they can really reveal game-changing insights into your customers. And there are a lot of answers, I should add. So 99% of questions on Quora get answers, and that's little surprise. The website has over 300 million search visits every month, and that beats Pinterest, and it's almost as much as Twitter, in fact. Quora also has 5.6 million keywords that make Google's top 10 list, so users are clearly asking questions that reflect common concerns, and that's really important to know. So in effect, the platform has become a sort of community hub based on an exchange of knowledge and advice. So then the question follows, who exactly is on Quora and what are they talking about? How can businesses use the platform to gather insights that bring them closer to customers? Well, as Quora puts it themselves, Quora is home to anyone with an inquisitive mind. But when we've been using the platform, or when we've been exploring the platform, we've mainly seen sort of 4 particularly inquisitive major audiences on Quora. So I'd like to tell you just a bit about them very briefly. So the first one that we're seeing is educated young people with high salaries, because we're seeing that people on Quora, they're very often under 35, and they have very high purchasing power in general. So an investment in understanding these high earners is a good way of future-proofing your brand. What draws these ambitious and students and job seekers to Quora then? Well, the answers seem to be a sort of high quality advice that's available on the platform by a number of academics and industry experts. So these conversations are usually the ones that are the most active, the ones that are the most engaging. Then we have quite a lot of technophiles discussing the best new products on the market. So one of the main sectors that people on Quora are trying to break into is the tech industry. So some of Quora's top questions include, for example, how to learn Python and Java, common programming languages. But the other questions asked by techie people on Quora involve trying to find the best products on the market. So marketers in the tech industry should also pay attention to Quora. They'll have sort of front row seats to how major players in the industry are learning about and accessing in-depth discussions on products written by people who genuinely understand the field. The third group that we have are business leaders, so senior managers responsible for big deals. So a global web index study found that these users on Quora are 24% more likely to be in senior management, 41% more likely to be responsible for business purchases, 45% more likely to be decision makers. So use Quora to understand what the biggest players in your targeted audience, targeted industry are talking about. These people may potentially become your buyers. Lastly, we have niche markets. So senior managers are not the only hard-to-reach audiences that you can find on Quora. Searching for, even asking a question like the following, it lets you find the opinions and attitudes of consumers in very, very, very specific groups. So, for example, a question like, what language do vegans use when discussing sustainability? What is the best way to market to the LGBTQ+ community? How are young women investing their money? These are many of the big questions that groups are very, very involved in and talking about very actively on Quora. So there are conversations here that you can understand that you would very, very seldom otherwise find such a sort of a specific avenue to explore. So these are the four major audiences really that we've seen when we've been exploring the platform. As well as using Quora to, in-depth investigate one part of your market segment, you can compile different customers' perspectives to create a more holistic picture of your market. So Quora can be used in the sort of the early stages of a project. It's really ideal for that because it's a quick way of getting a bunch of different perspectives. Which can help you come up with new ideas, come up with new avenues to pursue your research. So it's very, very good at sort of getting a sense of what's out there. So marketers, we say, give Quora a try. It's very, very, very good, and it's not being used enough, we find. Use it to learn about how to reach customers, both broadly and in depth. The platform will give you a window into the minds of sort of young, high-earning professional audiences discussing almost every topic there is out there in the language that they would use themselves, in an organic, natural language. So it's very, very, very important to pick this up. Cool, that brings us to Twitch, I believe. So, up next, Twitch. Well, moving from Quora to Twitch, Twitch is a very sort of different beast to battle with. You should really consider Twitch for your marketing efforts because of the platform's massive and very, very highly engaged audience base. So with around 15 million daily active users, it's big news. This is a big platform, and users flock to the platform for a variety of reasons, including one, it's all long form live streams. So unlike many other platforms, it lends itself to sort of an experience where between the streamer and the viewer that's a lot more authentic, immediate and personal, and that's a very, very, very strong thing that pulls people to Twitch. Second, Twitch is very interactive, creating a sense of community between users. So this is also very much a sort of a community hub. Twitch communities are a great way to meet people with similar interests. So again, going back to exploring niche markets and niche audiences, Twitch is absolutely ideal for that. It draws in a lot of people with very, very specific interests. There's a huge selection of content, including games to watch and entertaining streamers to follow. So there's sort of content categories in all shapes and sizes. I'll go through them with you in more detail in a second, but the breadth is truly impressive. Users can learn how to improve at their favourite game from watching others, and this is something that people take a lot of joy in. This is something that really, really, really appeals to people and prompts them to go on the platform. And lastly, Twitch offers content creators the opportunity to make money doing what they love. So it's also a space where we see a lot of creative creators filming themselves, really sort of engaging with the activities and the hobbies that they love. So it's a sort of it's appreciated by viewers, but it's also highly appreciated by this new tribe of content creators online that flock to Twitch. So at the moment, Twitch, I should add, is a bit too nebulous for research. So today we're going to concentrate on Twitch as an unappreciated marketing tool above all else before we move on. So at its core, Twitch is a social media entertainment platform. It revolves around watching, interacting with, and creating digital video broadcasts, with viewers and content creators interacting very, very closely and spontaneously over live streams. So you can watch anything from games to cooking shows to drawing to podcasting. There's a very, very wide array. It originally started more as a gaming platform, and now it really is expanding and developing. So the platform really relies on sort of key 4 features. So the platform is, first of all, highly interactive. So we see the streamer and the viewers interact over chat, video, and even actually occasionally on external social media sites that they sort of take the conversations to other sites after they've been done playing or interacting on Twitch itself. Second, Twitch's video streams, they create a sort of a live experience. So the live experience, it resembles watching a show, it resembles watching a sports game in real time. And the high resolution also enables a very sort of immersive experience, really. Thirdly, Twitch encourages a close streamer-viewer relationship. So the webcam shows the face and the surroundings of the broadcaster, and that creates a very sort of intimate experience and feelings, almost like you sort of know the person that you're watching, despite maybe not, they may have not, written in the chat directly to you, but it feels like you sort of get to know them over the process of listening to them and watching them over the span of many hours. Fourthly, co-presence is key. Watching the same content creates a sense of community on the platform among like-minded people. So we are really seeing that it sort of shapes audiences' identity and sort of sense of collective belonging on the platform. That's a very, very, very important part of what draws people to Twitch, as I was mentioning before. So all of these things these sort of 4 features, they pull people to Twitch, and it creates new kinds of celebrities, really, new kinds of prominent influencers, these broadcasters that people follow sort of en masse. And so I think the most famous one, the one with the most followers in the world at the moment, is Ninja. So let me introduce you to him.
Alright everyone, welcome to the very first video of many. I'm going to be trying to do these, obviously, every day. It doesn't necessarily have to be overkill, it could just be, like, you know, juking the shit out of opponents, you know, a ninja. First clutch, boom, tube, Sargon, snake bite, jump out, over, bam.
This is my second vlog on YouTube.
Grenaded me. Sorry, bro. My frag grenades are super hot today.
Probably the busiest my life or my gaming life is ever going to be.
Let's go, baby!
Oh my god, I gotta try to get kills like that.
Oh! Oh my god!
I've been streaming a lot of H1Z1. For those of you guys who don't know, it's an awesome game.
Yeah, baby! Woo! The old rope and don't flankerino!
But, I mean, you're really going to find more of my interactive and, like, funny content again. Kind of like the old Reach Ninja.
Yep!
I'm the best. The best in the game.
That's great.
What a game!
I mean, here we are. I don't think that this is the end. We haven't even begun to peak. Like, you guys have no idea. I want to be at 5 million followers by the end of the year on Twitch. Minimum. Got it, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get it.
Let's go, baby. Sky's the limit, dude. Twitch is blowing up. Be fucking ready. Be prepared, because this shit's gonna...
Bro, look at that.
So that was Ninja. You saw a bit of his story there. He did, in fact, sort of gradually climb to become the top broadcaster, the top streamer on Twitch today. So he is part of the, as I was saying before, the different categories of streamers. He's very much in the sort of gaming camp, but there are an increasing number of influencers who are gaining ground in new areas, whether that's, as he said, podcasting on the platform, cooking shows, sewing shows, drawing. Sky's the limit, but he's part of the sort of the older school, if you will, of gamers who really sort of grown up on the platform and gained a massive audience. So to talk a bit more about marketing on Twitch specifically, it is at the moment in its sort of early stages. I would say, but that doesn't mean that brands haven't already started jumping on the channel to raise awareness for their business. So when you look at marketing efforts, there are really sort of 3 key ways for brands to market on the platform. So the first one is influencer marketing. Twitch is home to thousands upon thousands of live streamers, as I mentioned before, including some who have racked up millions of dedicated followers, such as Ninja. This makes Twitch really the perfect place for influencer marketing or partnerships. Brands, they can reach out to these high-performing streamers and ask about collaborations. And typically a creator will promote the brand on a live stream to their audiences. That's the sort of the first avenue that brands can take. Second is to run ad campaign on Twitch. So brands can run 2 types of ads on Twitch. So either there's banners or there's in-house video ads to help increase brand awareness. Thirdly, they can set up a branded channel. So creating your own branded channel on Twitch is another excellent way to increase brand exposure and brand awareness. So by using a branded channel to host weekly live streams with your customers, for example, or potential customers, or you can host exclusive events for followers to tune into. As I said, it's a fantastic way of creating excitement for your brand, creating engagement, and getting and accessing a new breed of audience that you would otherwise not have found outside of Twitch. So as we've seen, Twitch really represents a growing opportunity for brands. It's a great platform to create a community, represent your brand in a younger, fresher light because of the predominantly young audiences that are there, and create the opportunity for your brand to be a game changer in the social media landscape, because this is such a dominant up-and-coming platform. So if you're looking for innovation, it really is on Twitch. Next up, we are going to have a look at Pinterest. This is the last platform that we're going to be exploring today. And Pinterest is very, very different to both Quora and Twitch. So Pinterest is a visual discovery machine, really, known for driving high-value conversions. And people are spending more money on Pinterest than on any other social network. For some reason, though, most brands are not making the most of it. This is something that I'm going to talk to you about in more depth, but it blows our mind that brands aren't using Pinterest more in their marketing efforts. So you'd really consider using it for its fantastic ability to market to consumers who are actively looking to purchase when they are using the Pinterest platform. And also for an opportunity to get ahead of your competitors who are overlooking this Pinterest potential. So, according to Pinterest's internal data, visitors are 7 times more likely to purchase products they've pinned on Pinterest, and 3 times more likely to click through to a brand's website. So this is an incredibly effective marketing tool. It has an incredibly high conversion rate. So this really begs the question, as I was saying before, how can brands create Pinterest content that will appeal to consumers? So the platform can be used to, and this is just some of the many areas that I've sort of brainstormed and jotted down, but it can be used to increase awareness of your brand. So it will help you introduce your business and blog to a whole new audience. It can help increase traffic back to your website. So rich pins, they effectively steer traffic back to your website. It can help convert browsers into buyers. Because Pinterest visitors, they're more likely to buy what they see than any other social media platform, as I was saying before. It leads visitors to the source of the things they want. They are actively looking for this. Visitors share pins they love with others, increasing the chance of your pins to go viral. So it will sort of grow and get communities engaged and interested in what you're doing by a sort of a domino effect, really. It can help make more personalized offers. So Pinterest Analytics observes and predicts trends, and they can identify how visitors are inspired and influenced. And lastly, it can help a brand build better customer experiences, because Pinterest Analytics provides clues regarding visitors' goals, visitors' motivations, influences, pain points and challenges at each of the customer journey stage. So why aren't more brands taking advantage of Pinterest? We honestly don't know why. We honestly don't know why. This blows our minds. It's such a great platform for exposing customers to your products and services in a non-intrusive way. They are already looking for these products themselves, and the conversion rates are great. So this is really, there's so much, brands stand to win really by using Pinterest, because there's very little competition who are aware of this as a marketing tool at present. So to help brands take better advantage of Pinterest, we set out to create sort of a systematic way to help brands identify product trends and better understand how their target customers are being influenced. So using this methodology, we decided to apply it to interior decoration trends. So here are some of the steps that we took really to sort of to try to understand what consumers were looking for in the interior decor space, what they thought of the products that were on offer by brands, and what if there was a difference between what influencers and brands were putting out and what consumers themselves were pinning. Those were the sort of the core questions that we wanted to answer. So the step one of our method, when we wanted to sort of create a research project and get to the bottom of this, the first thing that we did was we identified keywords. So we found 19 terms associated with home decor, and then several additional search terms related to subcategories in turn. We use this as a foundation for our code frame for identifying what visitors are pinning on Pinterest. So this was really our sort of the first stage of how we used Pinterest as a market research tool. The second step then was to use a search tool to pull data and then to start coding posts. Third step when we started coding was to note down really what you're seeing. So really sort of building out an elaborate code frame. So colors, textures, rooms, ceilings, styles, if it was minimalist, Scandinavian, sort of cottage core, we noted down lots of different styles, and then basically we immersed ourselves and noted down what we were seeing. So on top of this page, as an example, you can see the color scheme that we included in our code frame, where we noted down the overall sort of color palette of the posts that we were seeing. And so it meant that obviously when we coded that, by the end of the project, we could quantify our notes, and it was clear to us the general color scheme that consumers were pinning and what appealed to them. The fourth step then is to do exactly that. Pull your findings together. Once the data was coded, we reviewed the results to make sense of it. And that's really sort of how we went about applying Pinterest as a market research tool to this particular project on home interior. So I hope you have a better sense of how you too can use sort of visual immersion and a hefty code frame to help marketers create engaging pins on Pinterest. And pins that are shared and repinned ultimately leads to customer purchases. So this is the sort of thing that we discovered. So as I was saying before, we coded posts like these on the right, and then at the end we created a sort of an overview with the color scheme that you see at the top, noting down what we were seeing, so we could see a couple of themes really coming out of sort of natural textiles, very big ceilings, subdued, especially sage color for some reason on the wall, so that you can use that kind of stuff to sort of deduce common themes in posts, which was incredibly effective in our project. Right, I think that takes us to the end of the session today. Thank you very, very much for listening and for joining me. I hope I sparked some ideas of how you might use new social media platforms that you haven't come across before. You can go on our website, or you can download reports on each of the platforms that I've gone through with you today. And as always, please get in touch if you need help with designing or running a social insight project, or if you have any questions about the presentation today. You have my details over there in the corner. Just before I leave you, I wanted to tell you about our next webinar. So if you're thinking about how to get the most of your social media data ahead of next year, or if you're unsure how to even get started, then please join us on December the 7th. In our upcoming webinar, we'll then show you how to harness social media insights we'll do that by diving deeper into what is social insights, common myths around social insight that it's good to be aware of before you start a project, and lastly, how you use social insight to achieve these 3 business outcomes that I was discussing with you earlier at the start. So you can sign up to that on our LinkedIn page. I hope I'll see you there. Until then, thanks again very, very much for joining me today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you very much.